Um, I'm gonna try not to, well, just forget it, because I'm not gonna be able to not cry about this. So I haven't posted in a long time, but I wanted to try to start posting again, and I know I've said that so many times, but I kind of wanted to also document this, because it's a like really upsetting, and I was going back through all my videos over the past 12 to 13, almost 13 years, all my videos on my YouTube page, and I've seen quite a few of the videos, and it's about Roscoe. Tomorrow morning we are taking him to be euthanized. He is 14. He is supposed to be turning 15 in February. So next month, not even long from now, about 18 days or so, possibly a little bit longer. But his health has declined a lot this year, well, in 2024. And even though he's old, I still feel like he could have had several more years. But his health has declined a lot in the past year, especially in the past maybe 5 or 6 months. I've had him since he was 2. I rescued him from an abusive home when he was 2. And we have been through hell and back together. I got him when I was married in 2012. And he and I moved from North Carolina to Ohio, and then from Ohio back to North Carolina. And while we were in Ohio for 6 months, we moved like 1,000 billion times. He and I moved back to North Carolina after my ex-husband and I separated. So he's always been my comfort. So he was with me through all of that. And then in my last relationship for 6 years, he was with me with that, which was, he and I both, and obviously the others, endured a lot of shit with that relationship. And now, and that, moving a lot in that relationship too, back and forth to my parents' house, to my sister's house, to my brother's house, and then in this new relationship that I've been in for almost 3 years now, living where I live now, where he and I live now, with all the other animals. But all the stuff in between, he has been there with me the whole time, and he has constantly been my comfort. anytime, because I used to have extreme anxiety and depression, and anytime that I was having an anxiety attack or anything like that, or if I cried or anything, he would always be there to help me. And he would come and lay on my chest, and he would come and give me a hug. And it didn't matter if he, was asleep or whatever. He always knew. But about a year ago, his health started going down really bad. He was diagnosed with canine dementia. He's had a collapsing trachea since I got him when he was 2. And of course, that has just gotten worse over the years. There's nothing they can really do about it. He was also diagnosed with incontinence, so he was on incontinence medication. He's on cough medicine for his cough because of his collapsing trachea. He had also had a huge scare where we thought that we were going to lose him about 9 months ago to renal failure. So his kidneys have kind of always, since then, have kind of been on the edge. Because of his dementia, night times have been the worst. And so it had gotten to the point where he wouldn't let me sleep. And so for about 8 months, I literally did not sleep at all. And it was literally killing me. So I had to start sleeping upstairs away from him at night. And so for the past 4 months, 4 or 5 months possibly, I've had to sleep upstairs and not sleep with him, which has killed me. Especially now, because he would always look for me, and he would always want to come upstairs, and he always wanted me to be with him, because, why wouldn't he? But I literally wouldn't be able to sleep, because he would constantly claw at me and try and get my attention and wake me up. And it was just because of his dementia. And we tried so many things. He's on medication to help him sleep, and that didn't work. Several different kinds, none of them worked. And he was obviously confused and lost. And so he always just wanted me, and I tried sleeping with him in the living room, because for a while that's the only way he would sleep, was in the living room. So we tried that. I tried that for the longest time, and then that stopped working. And so it had literally got to the point where I had to sleep upstairs. Well, he started to get really painful and started bowing his back a lot. And he was still eating the same, and everything else was fine, but he started losing a lot of weight. And I didn't really realize it until Christmas time, when my parents and my boyfriend's parents came for Christmas, and they were like, he looks like he's lost a lot of weight. And then when I looked at him, I'm like, oh my God, he hadn't stopped eating anything. He loves food, but he was still losing weight, and he wasn't active. And so I knew something obviously extra was going on. And so we had just kind of talked to the vet and tried to change medications and just tried to do different things to figure out what was going on. But ultimately, it was just that his body is shutting down. And then about 4 days ago, he stopped eating. He didn't want to eat breakfast, so I said, okay, that's fine. So we tried dinner. He didn't want to eat dinner, which again is one of the biggest signs, especially for him, because he loves to eat anything and everything all the time, and he just didn't want to. So then the third day, I tried hand feeding it to him, and he kind of ate a little bit. He would take treats. I was still trying to give him all of his medication, and so I would have to just kind of give that to him in a different way. But he had really, really good days, and the vet gave me a checklist and was like, kind of do this every day for the next couple of weeks. This was literally just like a week and a half ago. Not even that long ago. And she was like, when it starts to get to the point where the bad days are outweighing the good days, then that's when we'll know. And that happened real quickly. Yesterday he had a half good day and a half bad day. But it literally has just gotten to the point where it's rare that he has a good day. And you can see how much pain he's in. And no matter what pain medicine we give him, it just doesn't do anything. So, we made the appointment yesterday for tomorrow morning at 11:30 in the morning, to have him euthanized. And you know what sucks is that I was on the phone with the vet, and it sucks because he was right there with me. And so I was like, let me go to the other room. I can't be in the same room as him making this appointment to have him euthanized. So I tried to walk to the next room, and he followed me, and he wouldn't leave me alone. So I had to make the appointment with him. And that's just so odd and so uncomfortable to make an appointment to have them euthanized when they're right there staring at you. And he hasn't looked happy in months. There's maybe a couple of times when he has, but the past few days he's just looked so sad. And he's been in so much pain and carrying his little baby around when he gets up, whining. So, made the appointment. Our vet agreed that it was time. So, we're taking him tomorrow morning. I'm on my lunch break right now. I work from home most days, thankfully, but I was supposed to go into the office today, but I told my boss, and he completely understands, but he said, yeah, just stay home. But I'm on my lunch break, and he's in my lap right now. And, I mean, there's just so many things with his kidneys and with his trachea, which makes it hard for him to breathe in any ways. And that's just gotten worse. Acid reflux, dementia, in urinary incontinence, just all of that. It's not good. And he'll be supposed to be 15 in February, so he's an old boy. But I don't know, like, he peed in the kitchen and I didn't want to clean it up because I'm just kind of, like, as much as I hate cleaning up his pee, because it happens so much, like, and he can't wear diapers because he gets out of them super easily. But, he peed in the kitchen. I still haven't cleaned it up because I don't want to. And I know that I'm doing the right thing because he doesn't need to suffer anymore. And yesterday I was crying. I was doing this on my lunch break with him yesterday, just loving on him and talking to him and crying. And even though he's in pain and he needs me to love and comfort him, he still loved on me and comforted me and licked my tears away like he's always done. So that just made it worse. Because I'm not going to have that with him. I mean, Nala does that, but it's not the same because it's not Roscoe. And not that I love any of my other animals any less, but, like, I've had Roscoe the longest. We've been through the most together. And for people who don't understand, like, I'm sorry that you don't understand. And my animals are my kids. And I've heard so many people tell me, like, having animals and taking care of animals is so much more difficult than a human child. And I've always thought that, but I don't have human kids. But everybody that I know that have both have pretty much told me, like, yeah, having animals and taking care of them, it's a lot harder than a human child. Ugh. And he's literally like, all my animals are my kids. But anyways, so I just wanted to share this. I'm gonna go